Hi, my name is Ray Brandon, and I'm going to tell you and explain to you about nursing just a little bit since I am in nursing school. I'm going to explain to you a little bit about my life, not in this video particularly, but in other videos I'm going to do that. I'm going to explain to you exactly how nursing is in videos, but for this particular video, this one, I want to tell you the 5 reasons not to go straight into LPN. Don't do it. It's not the best way of becoming an RN because 90% of you all wants to be an RN. You don't want to just be an LPN and get stuck. And you will most of the time get stuck as an LPN, and it really be hard to go back to school. So you might be contemplating, should you go to an LPN first or should you go straight to RN? And some people think, well, the money is all about the money. I'm going to explain to you why you should not go straight into the LPN. So let me say, I got my notes right here on my left hand side. So the rule number one, or number one that I would say not to go in for the money is because it's not a lot of money there. You might be a CNA and you're saying, man, well, LPN make more money than me. It depends on where you locate and where you at. And yes, they could, but it won't be like significant the amount of money that you think it would be. They start off between $15 and $19 an hour, which is not too bad if you haven't had that type of money before, or this is the money you need to survive for your kids. I understand that. But you do not, and I repeat, you do not need to go into an LPN school just for that. If you truly want to be an LPN, do it. If your main goal is to be an RN, you should go into be a RN. Go to that field. Then when you get out, you can make better money than you ever would as an LPN. That's a promise. Number two, what you really want. Do you really want to be an RN or do you really want to be an LPN? I don't know too many people who actually wants to be just an LPN. They just come in the field. They want to get their feet wet, so they come in as an LPN. They want to make a little money, like I said. But you really don't want to be an LPN because then you still under the supervision of an RN. Who wants to be under somebody when they can be the boss? So you to be the person who's delegating what to do to the LPNs and what to do to the RNs. So think about that for a moment. Reason number three, place you stay, where you stay. Let's say you stay in Tennessee and they start you off between $10 and $15 an hour, which is pretty much how they start you off as. And I know you're like 10 to 15. I'm making that CNA. I'm making that being at Burger King. Yes, you get a lot of hard work, a lot of mumbo jumbo, a lot of really incomplete stuff that you have to do. I mean, the medicine that you have to put out and give, and then you responsible for all of this work for just $10, $11. All the way up to around 15. Not worth it. Not worth it at all. I'd rather work at Burger King and do that. Let me tell you, reason number four is the money. You get stuck. You get stuck. So let's say you make $15, or you at a place that makes between $15 and $19. You never had that before. So now you want to go and you want to work a lot of hours, make 1,000, $600 to $1,000 a week. You're like, that is awesome. I'm making all this money. It's a lot of overtime, but I'm making all this money and I never made before. And it wasn't for the LPN. And that's true. You can make all the money you can make because they have a lot of positions for LPN. Not so much as hospitals because 90% of them is fading away. You're going to either have to have a ADN, a associate's degree, or a bachelor's degree. And most hospitals want to be a magnet hospital. So what they're going to do is they're going to have bachelor's degree at 60 to 80%, and 20% of them is going to be associate's degree. That's how they maintain their magnet status. So that's the top of the line best hospitals, they say. So yeah, the money will be there as long as you put in the work. But is it worth it? Because when you want to go back to school, you're gonna be like, I go next week, I go next year, and 1 year become 2 years, and 3 and 4 years, and then you finally go back, and then you dread that you even went to LPN school. You should have went to straight to RN school. And then on top of that, you're gonna be saying, well, I didn't have the money to go to RN school, and LPN school was cheaper. So I went the cheaper route, and then if I like it, then I can do to the RN school. Well, that's for my reason number five. Number five. Number five, if you go to RN school, roughly 3 semesters, which is most of the time in most schools, 1 year, 3 semesters or 1 year, you can challenge the LPN test and get it signed off through your DON, Director of Nursing. You can go to your Director of Nursing and ask for the same thing, or you can go to the Board of Nursing. You can look it up and you will find that you can challenge the LPN while you're in school. So while you're challenging it, and you become an LPN, you still on your path to RN. That way, you're not making no, oh, well, let me make this money, build it up first situation, because it will happen. Don't get stuck as an LPN. Go for your RN and go for your LPN while you in your RN. Go for your LPN while you're in your RN phase. So it's just tips to tell you what to do. I'm going to give you more information, more about me later on in the rest of these videos.